Let me just add to what he said. You know,
the SMEs.
Yes, the SMEs in Nigeria and maybe elsewhere in the developing world is an endangered species. So anything that we're talking about, the CET, that is bound to affect manufacturers, that is the big boys. Obviously, what will happen to the rest of the people can only be imagined. You see, because the issues that need to be addressed, and that's what he said, has to do with governance. There's a lot to be done. An SME borrows money at 32%, 20-something, up to 30%. The logistics infrastructure is not there, with the attendant increase in cost that comes from that. Everybody talks about power. Power is not the only challenge. Ask people how much it costs to truck goods like from Lagos to the east or from Lagos to the north. The rails are neither here nor there. So the issue is that there's a lot of work to be done. If we prepare ourselves adequately, in the long run, there will be a lot of gains for Nigeria from this very particular exercise.
Okay, so in your opinion now, sorry to cut you there. In your opinion now, even though we have the intention of adopting the CET, should we begin to put our house in order in terms of what you've already mentioned, infrastructure, namely the roads, the rails, the power sector, and every other thing that doesn't just affect the manufacturing sector, but every other sector concerned, who will invariably be affected by the CET?
Definitely. You see, because the way the world is going, things are changing so fast, and we seem to still be dwelling in the past. So, the products from Nigeria are highly uncompetitive compared to elsewhere in the world, for obvious reasons. So, if we do not right now address these issues, what we are signing today, which takes off, I think, 2015 January, maybe 3 years later, after it takes off, we may have to look again and say, we do not think that we want to. But that would be a very dangerous thing to do at that point in time, because we have signed and we are part of it. Again, there's also the issue of harmonization of custom tools, because there are complaints about, even with the free trade and the rest of them, the rules are there. But at times, the overzealous custom officers in some of these countries make things difficult. That's what I was talking about, political will at that point in time, because there's a lot of work to be done. Because even this common external tariff, as it is, the rules are clear. But what of the management of those rules at the border points, at the customs, ports, and the rest of them? So I think it's a lot of work. Between now and 2015 January is not too long.
No, it's not.
But I think that apart from that, we have to do something. Like he talked about policing our borders. Our borders are so terribly porous that at the end of the day, if there were to be any gains, we will lose it in the process.
Okay, so sorry, Rashid, your last words, because we're actually coasting home now.
Well, the issue of the CET that we have embraced has one major gain, and that is to discipline us to do things the right way. That's right. Many things we've left unattended to in the past are now staring us in the face. And as a country and as an economy, if you want to be a player within the global environment, you just have to put in place the best practices to do things.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me this morning on the program. It's been quite an interesting conversation, but I'm definitely sure that this is not the last we've heard of it. So I will be speaking to you again, but thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
Well, I've been speaking with an international export consultant, Obiora Madu, and the Acting Director General of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Rashid Adegbenro, and we've been looking at the new ECOWAS Common External Tariff and the implications for Nigeria. It's an interesting conversation, and of course, most of these facts are in public domain, so you can check them up and know what it is this really will be entailing. And of course, your comments and questions are always welcome. Any of them that come in, we will channel it to the appropriate quarters who will answer you. But that's the program for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Harriet Agbini.